know when you've overdone it. Your body will tell you that you've overdone it, because when you go to the loo to wee, you will see it there. You see in your wee that this is not the right.
How do you know your wee?
Yeah.
It can be foamy, it can be very yellow. If it was in Africa, you know how they test it back at home? As soon as you wee, you see the ants.
Okay.
The sugar attracts the ants. That's the way they test it back, because they don't have all this sophisticated.
Yeah, but they have that one as well, which is powerful.
So it is. Once you see the ants near where there's a urine, then you can tell that that person has too much sugar in their urine. Simple way of.
But yet it's full.
I notice, like when I've been naughty, and it's so difficult at work, there's biscuits, there's tea. But to be fair to my colleagues at work, what they do now when they buy the biscuits, they buy fruits. Because they say they feel bad that I can't eat out of biscuits, and then some of them buy fruits and the fruit is there. But you'll know that I know when I've overdone it. Like today I've had 2 bars of Celia's chocolates, so I've been naughty today. But I've been very good all week. So because sometimes you get really tired of your mouth craves sweet things. Your body craves it sometimes. And you probably have to take one, a bit, but not too much, not too much. When I started on my diet, I cut off the rice, the carbohydrates, but the most difficult for me was the bread. When I cut off bread, it was so difficult for me because I like bread and I like my pastries. But that was what helped me to lose the weight, cutting the bread off.
So bread is...
It's starchy, particularly the croissant and the French bread. But it's all about portions and exercising.
What about normal bread?
Normal bread, there's nothing wrong with bread, don't get me wrong. But when we eat, we need to exercise to use it up. It's when you don't use it up and it's just there in your body that you have excess sugar in you. Because when all the carbohydrates are broken down, it's broken down into sugar in our bodies. So we should watch the crisps, watch the biscuits, the chocolates. We live in a country where there's chocolate all over everywhere. So it's about just watching it. Some people are lucky, they eat and they break everything down, and that's fine. But there's just some of us that you only have to look at the food and your waistline grows 2 inches. So it's all about the exercising. But the leaflets, they are very, very educational, and they give you a lot of information. For me, my biggest concern was the eyes, because of the history of glaucoma in my family. So I have to get my eyes tested, because it does affect your eyes. And if you're not careful, you can go blind from it. So it's about awareness and being aware of it all. And they talk about, and back home now, it's a big issue. And when I say back home, in Africa, I have a Somali group I support in Northampton, and they have a health group as well. It's called Somali Health Foundation. And he's supporting a village in Somalia, and everybody in that, I think about 98% of people in that village have diabetes. Yeah. So one of the aims of his organization is to send testing kits back to Somalia, and he's done a lot of work there, raise the awareness that people be aware. Have you ever tasted Somali tea? It's full of sugar. So, and they eat a lot of pasta, and it's not chapati, it's more like pancake. I don't know what they call it. I think they call it chapati as well, but it's when you start,
oil.
Yeah, and oil. Yeah. So we need to be aware of and we live in a country where it's full of processed food. Everything is in the tin. It's not like back home where you go into the market and get it fresh. But we have it fresh in the market here. We just have to make that effort because we're all in a rush. And it's time to do this time. We don't have that time. So we go for the easiest thing. We buy the tin one. Yes, exactly. So 3 years on, I've lost the weight. I've maintained my blood sugar level. I feel better. I'm not as tired as, I used to sleep and wake up tired. And I didn't know I had it. So I'll hand over to Felicitas. she's just going to talk generally about disability and how she's coping with it, to share her own experience.